Hello and welcome back to Wool and Wags. My name is Nikki. I am the wool lover in this channel, and we also have little Miss Wags, who may or may not make an appearance, but she is currently sleeping down on the ottoman after her morning breakfast. So welcome. This is podcast number 2. We have a lot to talk about today. I am going to try not to ramble too much, but we have 4 finished objects, most of which were whips in the last podcast. We have 2 main whips and 2 kind of ish acquisitions. One of them is here, sneak peek, but I'm actually going to move it over here for you. First, we're going to get into our 4 finished objects. So our first finished object is actually, I don't have it with me because I made it for one of my close friends, but it is this pumpkin just made to a different size. I made this pumpkin, which is pumpkin number 1, in the yarn Loops and Threads Facets in the color Autumn. I made this for myself. She saw it and wanted her own, so I did make her one. I just doubled the stitch count in the pattern. This is a free pattern, so you guys can look at it as well, but I doubled the stitch count and made it larger for her. That did come with some stress because when you do the finishing, you kind of put all the live stitches on your yarn and you tug at your yarn to kind of close up the hole. And I don't know if you could see, even this hole was tough to close and did not close completely. So naturally, if you double the amount of stitches on the yarn and you pull it, it didn't close. So I did have to sew it up and it was a little bit of a mess. I was happy to do it for her and I wanted it to be really durable because she does have 2 little babies and I didn't want them to grab it and be able to turn it over and pull stuffing out. So I did want it to be bigger for her because although I love the mini pumpkins, I wasn't sure that it would fit in her house as well. So I wanted it to be bigger so it was more of a actual statement decor piece. So I think she's happy with it. She has sent me pictures. I'll share those with you guys, obviously. That is finished object number 1. Super quick and easy. The next one, these are my striped socks. These are socks that I got the yarn for, or I got the yarn from Flock in Seattle. It is the Fandom Fibers Supernatural sock in the color Lumity. I made them on the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla sock pattern, and I just adjusted it a little bit for my foot. I made this one, I actually made the cuff a little bit longer, the 2x2 cuff a little longer. I'm really happy with them. For the heel and the toe, the contrast, I just use a random mini that I know nothing about that I got from Flock as well. I'm really happy with them. The yarn is probably some of the nicest sock yarn I think I've ever used. I'm not quite sure, I'm not the most well versed in yarn and plying and all of that. So I'm not quite sure why, but all I know is I will be looking to buy more of this sock base from this yarn dyer if I see them again at Flock next year. Which, random side note, but they did just post on their Facebook, I think it was yesterday, not Facebook, Jesus Lord, they posted on Instagram that there was vendor applications open, and because of that, the dates, they weren't leaked, but they were announced, the dates. And so I'm really excited to hopefully get to plan to go in 2026 as well. 2025 was my first time at Flock, so yeah, I'm excited to go back. Back to the socks. I'm really happy with them. This is my 3rd pair of socks, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. This is my 3rd pair, and every single time I kind of tweak something about the sock so I can eventually get my perfect sock formula. And this is what is it called? Oh, this is foreshadowing to something that's coming later that is depressing, but we'll talk about that later. It's not depressing. That's a little dramatic. I kind of had a failure with one of my whips, but yeah, we'll talk about it later. Either way, my striped socks, they're a little dingy and dirty because I have worn them. They have dog hair on them, but I love them. There's no signs of wear on them at all. I think yarn is just great. So really happy with these. Okay, let's get the next like more boring one done. I've hated on this thing since I started it, which is probably so bad, but this is my, just throw it over here. This is my Sophie shawl in Misha and Puff, which is a 100% superwash merino in the color Fig. I love the color. I'm happy with the finished object. Just don't know, and I've said this so many times on the channel in my 2 videos I have on the channel so far, I just don't have any use for it in Southern California. But I was so happy to get it done and off my needles. It may live with me. It may get gifted to one of my family or friends. We'll just have to see about that. I finished it. I blocked it, and blocking superwash merino never gets less scary. So it needed it. Like it needed to grow, and I think it has turned out to be such a really good size because I did not follow the pattern for size at all. I legitimately just like, I don't know why I use the word legitimately, but I just split the yarn up and wanted to use all of the yarn, which I did. So almost. I'm really happy that it's done. It got blocked and immediately just put in my yarn pantry, cabinet, cupboard, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what I'm going to do with this guy, but I'm just really glad it's off my needles. All right, the last finished object. I'm sorry I'm going through these so fast, but I feel like I have a lot to talk about. Everything is falling. Okay. The last finished object is my cloud tee. This is my cloud tee. My entire first podcast, I did call this the cloud blouse, which was, oops, my bad. But patina is just crazy having like 50 different versions of the same thing. This is the cloud tee. I knit it in the Piles and Hellhounds Selkie base, which is a light fingering, in the color Yugen. I think that's how I say it. It's 15% silk, 85% merino, and I love it. I don't think it's recency bias because I have finished something else since, and again, that's my foreshadowing to my gripe of the day, the week, the month. But I think that this is just perfect for me. I love the more casual, like rolled neck finishings or rolled hem finishings because it is everywhere. I love the yarn composition. It is so lightweight and soft and not too warm. It's just perfect, and the color is my my dream color for sure. I have got to wear it twice. I wore it to a work event, wore it all day long at the work event. Never got too hot, but it did keep me like pretty insulated because it was extremely cold. And then I wore it to dinner with a friend. I see myself getting a lot of wear out of this because it is a t-shirt. I think I'll be able to wear it year round. Well, not a t-shirt, but it's a tee. I still consider it like one of my nicer, like a blouse because it is knit, but I am so happy with this guy. I am going to pull it out a lot. And it's made me really excited to use some of my other fingering weight quantities that I have and even buy more at Flock next year. I'm hoping I can see the same yarn dyer. I probably will for sure wear this to Flock next year. And, buy the same base if she has it. I have looked at her website and did not see anything in this color or this base right now. So I am really sad, but that's fine. There's plenty to knit. I just love it. It is not my favorite thing I've ever made, but it is like my favorite color I've ever used and probably my second favorite thing I've ever made. All right, so now we're going to move right along into the whips. The first whip, it is the bane of my existence. It is the thing that I have mentioned too much already without talking about it, but this is my ghost sock as I have deemed it. It is knit in the Summerly Colorwork Cuff Club Volume 1 October. I think she had 2 October patterns. This is one of them. I used that chart for the base pattern though. I did just use my Crazy Sock Lady Vanilla Sock formula that I'm trying to create. It's knit in Knit Pick Stroll I have them here. This is pumpkin or and horchata. I think I mentioned in the last podcast, I bought a bunch of this yarn to kind of create a stash of socks for this specific situation for color work. And I guess let's just get right into it. So I don't know what went wrong with this sock. I'm really sad. I used my same formula, and Summer Lee suggests going up a needle size in the color work, which I didn't want to do because I am using fixed 9-inch circulars. So I just made sure to keep my tension really loose in this section. I did a 2x1 rib and then the color work chart, and then I made it a shorty, as you can tell, obviously. And then I knit however many rows before my heel flap and gusset, and then I did my foot. Each sock, this is my fourth sock that I've made. Well, I've made 3 pairs, and this is the fourth. I have made the foot longer because I just have not figured out what my foot length is, apparently. It doesn't seem like it would be that hard, but I do struggle. I make everything too short because I just want to be done with it. It is my kryptonite. Not my kryptonite. It's my biggest flaw. Whatever, however you want to say that. But I knit this sock longer than my striped socks, like you guys saw, and made sure to keep my tension really loose. And I did. Like, it is loose. It does have stretch even in that color work portion. This is my first color work ever that I've made. So, yeah. But it doesn't fit. And it's not even that it doesn't fit like in one way, it doesn't fit in a million ways. It is too tight and it gapes, like the stitches are gaping too much on my foot. And it also feels too short, even though it is literally longer than my striped sock. Like, and my striped sock feels like it fits perfect. So I'm just really confused. This is my first time making a sock with commercially produced yarn, I guess is how you would call it, and not like hand dyed yarn. And the quality difference is kind of insane. Like, I don't know if you can see all the fuzziness that is happening on this sock. And I have not worn this sock at all. I've tried it on probably 3, maybe 4 times, and it is pilling already so much. So it just doesn't fit. The quality doesn't seem to be there. So I'm just kind of depressed about this sock, and I don't really know what to do. I wanted to quickly make this or make the second one because this one wasn't that quick, but I wanted to make it and be able to wear them during the week of Halloween to work. Now I'm just not quite sure if I'm even going to knit the second one. So, and I did test my gauge because this is a different yarn. I tested it after to see if that was what went wrong, and it's the same exact gauge as my striped socks. So I just really don't know. Like, I think it I don't know. Like, I feel like it might just be the actual yarn, like the quality of it. It's not as dense, but that just it doesn't make sense because density is usually because of gauge. Either way, I'm not really sure, and I didn't need them to be like the highest quality because they are holiday socks. Like, I probably will only wear them in October, but it's just a bummer overall. I don't I really just don't know what to do with it. So, if you guys have any thoughts or opinions, please let me know. If you've used this yarn, if I'm just expecting too much out of this yarn because this yarn is cheap. Like, I think I paid either $3.99 or $4.99 a ball. But this scares me because I did buy, I think, like 8 to 10 different colors to create my little yarn stash of sock weight yarn. But I mean, you can even see like I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but you can even see like the fuzzy pillingness. And it does say it's a fine superwash merino. So maybe because it's fine, or maybe the ply. I really don't know. Either way, I've got to make a decision kind of quickly because Halloween is next week for me. And I've got to decide what I'm going to do about this because I don't know. I thought about just having it as a decoration for Halloween, just like putting it up on the wall, like, hey, I made a ghost sock, even though it doesn't fit my foot. I'm not quite sure. That's my sad of the week. Let's just move right along into my next whip, which is my last whip. It is way more exciting. Hold on. I did accidentally throw it on the ground. So let's just get here is my Snow Sweater by Pernell Larson. I am so excited about this. This is my Christmas sweater for 2025. I just started it maybe a week ago. I have wanted to knit this sweater since I started knitting, before I've had even knit a sweater, just because I love it. I love how like subtle the Christmasness is, but it's still very obviously like a holiday sweater. So I got the exact yarn that they used in the pattern, which is the Knitting for Olive Merino and Soft Silk Mohair. I have it back here. I did order it from Wool Warehouse. It was a little bit of a kind of back and forth because one of the colors that I ordered ended up being back ordered, and not just like Wool Warehouse needed to order it from Knitting for Olive, but Knitting for Olive was on back order with it, which I know they had a crazy time after their Gaza fundraiser and everything. But I did finally, like, they have been amazing. Their customer service, really good back and forth with me. They shipped me all of my order except it is one ball of yarn that's on back order for me. They shipped it and they're shipping my next one like free. They didn't like charge me twice for shipping, which I actually think it was free shipping anyways. They've been great and lovely to work with. Their email, whoever runs their email customer service is great. But let's get back to the pattern. So this is my first ever time doing a circular yoke, and it is scary. It just looks scary. Like, these look like sleeve caps almost. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it just doesn't look like it is going to lay very flattering on my body. So I'm nervous about that. I did make some modifications. The first one that I made was I did not start with the collar. The pattern has you cast on and immediately start the collar. I omitted that because I did that with my step-by-step sweater, and it just lays very weird and kind of like stretches. And I've heard other people talk about that with circular yokes. So I omitted it and started just with the yoke. And then I went back and picked up stitches to kind of create that seam, which is what I think creates more of the stability. And then I did the collar. It's a folded over, just one by one collar. And I did add in 2 rows of double knitting just to help it lay nicer, just because that's what the Olga sweater has you do. That's the only other folded over collar that I've knitted. So I figured might as well just add it. It's a quick, easy little mod. I don't know if it does help because I've never knitted one without the double knitting, but I think it probably does. So I added that in and then knit it down, and it feels good. It doesn't have as much stretch because I think I may knit them down too tight. My Olga one, it ended up blocking out and fitting fine, so I'm sure this one will be fine. And I can get this one over my head. It is just a little precarious. I am nervous but excited just because I want to see how it lays on me to know for sure if I'm going to like it. I'm definitely excited to get to the color work portion. After doing the ghost sock, I loved the color work and seeing that be created. So I'm really excited to get to the sleeves, which is it is a baby color work sweater, as I call it. I'm excited to get there and to get to do it. I'm not sure if all circular yokes are like this, but the way that you do the increases is just a million make one lefts, which is like, in my opinion, the worst of all of the increases. So that was fun to find out. Also, the sleeves are knit from the cuff up and then Kitchener stitched on, which I am still not 100% sure why, but I'm just going to do it because I don't mind doing Kitchener stitch on socks. That's how I close up my toe. So I'm just going to go for it. But I am really worried about making the length correct because I am kind of picky about the length of my sleeves. That's one reason why I love knitting, is because I can adjust the length of my sleeves because my arms are short, and on like store-bought things, the sleeves are always too long. So yeah, that is my snow sweater so far. I'm hoping to have it done by like November, middle of November. It would be really cool to have it done by November 1st so that I could wear it while I'm putting up all my Christmas decorations, but that's not like a hard, like, I'm not giving myself that type of deadline. So yeah, that's my snow sweater. Last bit, we're going to talk about my acquisitions. the first acquisition, which I've already basically talked about, is all of my knitting for Olive for my snow sweater. It is the merino and the soft silk mohair in all the colors that were suggested. It was quite expensive. I spent $183 total on the yarn for my snow sweater, which is crazy. I really don't know if it's crazy because honestly, I don't typically calculate how much I spend when I'm knitting on a certain like item, but that feels crazy because I don't think I would have bought a $183 Christmas sweater. But that's why I kind of don't look at it and don't think about how much I spend on my yarn and stuff, because I'm not just buying a sweater when I'm buying the yarn. I'm giving myself hours and hours and hours of entertainment as well. So I don't like thinking about it like that. I know there's a lot of people that are like a lot of other YouTubers or TikTokers that talk about like cost per wear or just cost in general of an entire project, like yarn, pattern, everything. That's just not, I don't, I don't want to think about it. It's money is fake, it's made up, and it depresses me if I think too much about it. So, anyways, so I got my knitting for olive yarn, and my last one, which I did mention earlier, this is my wool bag. That's the only reason I'm including it, because it's not necessarily going to be a project bag, but it is a 100% like felted wool and with leather accents. It has leather handles and a leather base. I got this from LL Bean. I don't know how much I spent on it either, so I'll put it somewhere. I'm obsessed with it. I originally got on LL Bean's website to buy the boat and tote because I wanted just like a versatile tote that I could just throw things in. It was like open. I could throw everything in that I needed for work, like my laptop, my life, because I do take everything to work. Like I think boredom is like cancer, and also I never want to be without something that I need. Anyway, so I was in need of a new work bag. Not in need, that's dramatic. I wanted a new work bag. And then this came up when I just searched totes on their website. And I was like, I've got to get it. Like, it's my namesake. It's wool. This is Wool and Wags. So I bought it, got it monogrammed with this beautiful color, which is just my color, as we've talked about. I'm not quite sure if it's even in frame, so I'm going to bring it up here. Oh, Lord. Just got it yesterday. It's not even stuffed. It does have like a button closure, and it also has one pocket to put in your phone. You can kind of see the outline for the pocket there. But I'm so excited for her. I'm ready to fill her up for work today, actually. I'm just really happy to have it. I'll throw yarn in it. I'll throw my life in it. It'll be my Mary Poppins bag. That is my last acquisition. So that brings us to the end of the podcast. If you made it this far, you're a real one, because I'm sure my energy was kind of frantic today. But I hope you liked it. And if you did, please like the video, comment, and if you want to see more of me, you can subscribe. I know my baby dog didn't make appearances today, so I'll post some recent photos of her. She's just sleeping down. That breakfast, it tires her out. I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.